This presentation was brought to you by the Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club. For more information, visit our website, NCARC.net. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Good evening, this is Kilo Alpha 6 Echo Tango Echo, net control for this evening's Northern Colorado Amateur Radio Club Tech Net. Looking for check-ins. Anyone wanting to check into tonight's Tech Net, please call now.
Zero Yankee Mike Juliet. This is Rob in Windsor.
Good evening, Rob. How are you doing today?
Nervous. I sound it's about the radio.
Yeah, definitely. You have a little bit of static in there with your audio. You're still readable, but a little bit higher than normal static. Thank you for checking in. Anyone else want to check into tonight's TechNet, please call now.
Good evening, November 0, Echo Mike Papa, Greg in Fort Collins with Debbie, K0DBE.
Good evening, Greg. How are you and Debbie doing today?
We just left dinner at CB Potts in Fort Collins, and they literally shut the door behind us, and that's it.
Yeah, that's, I don't know if you've seen any of the news conferences today. Polis issued a statewide ban on any restaurants, bars, casinos, pretty much basically anything that seats more than 10 people is closed for 30 days. They can still do carry out and delivery, but no dine-in allowed anywhere.
Yeah, they're doing carry out tonight, and after that, they have no idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a mess, and a lot of businesses are going to suffer dramatically for it, but thank you for checking in. Anyone else want to check in?
This is November 0, November Yankee. Bart in Evans. Good evening.
Good evening, Bart. How are you doing?
I am healthy, but I guess we never know if we're overreacting until it's over and we're reacting. I received a notice that our church has been issued a restriction from the governor of Colorado that says we can't have any gatherings larger than 10 people. And that's, well, anyway, I'm terribly disappointed about that. I certainly understand the idea behind it, but this is where we are.
Yeah, definitely agree with you that we never know if we're overreacting until it's over with. But thank you for checking in. Anyone else?
Kilo Echo 0, Uniform Foxtrot Delta, Scott in Windsor.
Good evening, Scott. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, just working from home.
And from my brief trip out earlier today, that's what a lot of people are working from home. There was almost no traffic this afternoon, which was surprising. And thank you for checking in. This is KA6ETE Net Control for this evening's Tech Net. Looking for check-ins. Anyone wanting to check into tonight's Tech Net, please call now.
This is Whiskey Zero Alpha Sierra Papa W0 ASP. Terry in Berthoud.
Good evening, Terry. There was a double with you, but how are you doing this evening?
Get as much done as I can given the restrictions placed on me.
I could only imagine the amount of restrictions you have on you. Thank you for checking in. Doubling station, you want to come back?
Kilo Zero Alpha Romeo Delta. This is Ann in Fort Collins.
Good evening, Ann. How are you doing today?
I'm well, James. Thanks. Yeah, working from home like everybody else. Be quiet.
And definitely thank you for checking in. Anyone else want to check into tonight's TechNet, please call now.
Alpha Echo Zero Charlie Foxtrot Ben Fort Collins.
Good evening, Ben. How are you doing today?
Doing okay. Ease your feel.
Oh, glad to hear, and thank you for checking in. Anyone else want to check in, please call now. I hear nothing, we'll move on. And this is Kilo Alpha 6 Echo Tango Echo Net Control for this evening's NCARC Tech Net. We'll take check-ins anytime during the net or after. Well, feel free to check in whenever you want. If we have anyone that has any questions or comments they would like to ask the net, please call now. I hear nothing. I was hoping someone would have something to get us started. I haven't had time to really think of any topics for this evening with everything that's been going on. I've been busy with multiple different organizations and agencies, kind of preparing for a lot of things that are happening and what's going to be happening. I'm going to let the repeater reset and see if I can think of something real quick off the top of my head. I believe that is KE0BNK. Is that correct?
Zulu Mike Kilo. My name is Dane in Fort Collins.
Oh, thank you for checking in.
A question about phone closed auto patch systems.
I'm sorry about that. I had a train going by and didn't catch the whole question. You please ask your question again.
I had a question about phone auto patch systems and how they work, and are they only for emergencies?
I am not real familiar with them. Greg N0AMP, do you have any comments on the phone auto patch systems in that?
N0EMP, I'm not even sure we still have an auto patch on any of our repeaters, but they're not for emergency use only, they're for convenience, and typically there's a touch tone access code that all the club members of a club or members of a repeater group will know to access the phone patch, and then when you enter the you need a touch tone, a DTMF keypad on your radio, and when you put in the access code you get a dial tone, and then you dial your number, and you just have to remember and inform the people on the other end of the phone call that it's going out over the air and there's no privacy on it.
MIC.
W2MIC, Mark.
W2MIC, I'd like to check in, and no, NCARC no longer has phone patches. We used to, but after a period of several years when no one had used them, because nowadays everybody carries a cell phone, the club decided at an officers' meeting to no longer keep them operational and to keep paying for them. So, no, we don't have one.
Anyway, Greg and Mark, thank you for those comments. Yeah, I was pretty sure we didn't no longer had one on any of the NCARC repeaters. I know I do still see them occasionally on some of the other repeaters. I believe Rocky Mountain Radio League still has one repeater with a phone patch, and a couple other various ones around the state. But yeah, like, a lot of people don't use them, but it is a nice aspect if it is available, depending on where you're at. Does that answer your question a little bit for you there?
That answered it. I appreciate it. I'm pretty new to this, and I had saw that on Repeater Book, whenever I was programming in some repeaters, that, for example, this one said closed auto patch, and I did a little bit of research and was just kind of curious as to how those work. And but yeah, you guys definitely answered my question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've been around for a very long time and have been used quite a bit. I know if you go on the NCARC website, there is an old article in there. I can't remember exactly what tab you have to go through, but it is a write-up about the 1976 Big Thompson flood, where part of that article tells about one of the auto patches that was used up Big Thompson Canyon to connect emergency responders to the Emergency Operations Center, and I believe it was even through the governor received a phone call through the auto patch system that enabled the responders in the canyon to actually talk via phone call to people in Denver and outlying areas. Good, thank you for the question. Anyone else have any questions or comments for the net? Please call now.
And 0EMP with a comment.
EMP, Greg, go ahead.
Actually, 2 comments for anyone that hasn't seen the emails. First of all, the club meeting for Saturday is canceled. And secondly, the 115 Horsetooth repeater is back on the air using a split site so that we're receiving on Rattlesnake and transmitting off Horsetooth.
Yeah, I know I had seen that and was very, not that the 115 is used a lot, but it's always nice having that option for the backup repeater back operational. It's definitely has come in handy in the past, and I'm sure it will again in the future. So thank you and James for getting that taken care of and handled for now, even though it is essentially a temporary patch until you can get up to the top of Horsetooth, but it is working.
And if anybody wants to play with it now, they can get an idea of how well they'll be able to get into these different Rattlesnake receivers down the road.
Yeah, definitely. I know I was doing that earlier today with my HT. I was able to get into the 115 repeater with 500 milliwatts on my HT, so I know from my base radio I will have no issues whatsoever with anything that is put there. So thank you for that. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Please call now.
K0YMJ with a question.
Rob, go ahead.
So we determined here that we don't have the auto patch function on the repeater. But I'm curious, these radios seem to all have some sort of DTMF functionality on them. Is that really all that was used for, or is there something else that function can be used for?
MIC?
MIC, Mark, go ahead.
Echo Link.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of different functions that the DTMF codes are used for radios. Echo Link being a big one. I know you can also connect IRLP radios via DTMF. You can get into some of the Kenwood radios to where you can actually use your HT set up through a mobile radio via DTMF code to change the frequencies on your mobile radio, set up crossband repeater on your mobile radio via DTMF from an HT, change the frequency on your crossband repeater setup. There's definitely widely used for a lot of different applications. Some of them are brand specific and some are not. N0NYY, Bart, go ahead.
Some repeater controllers also use or can use DTMF tones to control the repeaters. I've lost my pair due to disuse, but I had a 440 repeater, and the controller on there, it could sense the codes, and you could use it to disable the repeater if you had to, or if something was going wrong. And I suspect a lot of repeaters probably still have that capability, but I think that capability is normally kept pretty tightly under wraps because they don't want unauthorized people doing things to the repeater at the wrong time. Zeroing my way back to that.
Yes, definitely. I know it is still capable on a lot of repeaters. Here back a year and a half, 2 years, I was net control for another weekly net, to where every week I would use DTMF commands to connect the one repeater to a couple different repeaters, and then via the All-Star link setup through DTMF, as well as connect to an Echo Link node via DTMF, all from my base station and a repeater that was located down just west of Denver.
N0 EMP.
N0 EMP, Greg.
Yeah, you can also build or buy a DTMF decoder, and then you can use that keypad for anything you want to use it for.
Yes, that is another aspect of the DTMF decoders. There is a lot of different things and uses for them. Some not so well accepted, and some very well accepted. It's all a matter of using it properly. K0YMJ, give you a little bit more insight on the DTMF functions of a radio.
Yeah, that was a little more than I expected, actually, so thank you guys for that. Good information.
Yeah, definitely, and thank you for the question. Do we have any other questions or comments for the net? Please call now.
AE0GM with the question.
AE0GM, go ahead. Your audio was a little bit light, so I don't know if you can speak a little bit louder, but just wanted to let you know.
I'll try to speak a little louder. My question was on the DTMF tones. Are they just transmitted as regular audio? EMP.
Greg, go ahead.
DTMF is dual tone multifunction, so each key press is two two audio tones together. The way we hear things, it sounds like one tone to us, but it's a pair of tones. And yes, it's just audio. Now, some repeaters will strip out those tones to prevent them from going through the repeater. So if you are trying to do something that needs those tones to go through a repeater, you'll have to check and make sure they go through.
So are those the touch tone phones the phone company used to use?
Yes, it's the same tones, and I'm certain there's going to be a Wikipedia article that says exactly what the tones are.
And why?
Bart, go ahead.
There are 4 extra tones, the A, B, C, D buttons on your microphone, if you have them. And those are different tones that it's just another set of pairs that the phone company does not use. But otherwise, like if you hit a 1, those 2 tones are a standard. You know, all the numerics are standard. The pound and the hatch, or pound and star, are standard. But in ham radio, we have 4 extra pairs, that being the letter buttons. And 0 NYY back to net. Oh, also, one more thing if I may. There's a chip you can get called a Lima Mic 567 tone decoder chip. And if you do any component level electronics at all, I recommend getting one of those and playing with it, as long as the repeater will pass the tones. On some repeaters, there's a DTMF command, a certain series of numbers that will tell the repeater, please pass the tones. I want my receiver at home to pick it up and turn on the lights when I'm ready to get home. The issue with that is, technically speaking, that might be considered a broadcast by some, because you're not expecting a response over the radio from what you did. So a review of the rules there as far as remote control of devices via DTMF. One would want to investigate that first. And 0 NYY back to net.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I just did a quick search on the DTMF tones, and there are a total of 4 different low frequencies used, and a total of 4 different high frequencies that are used, that are mixed for each digit, 0 through 9, and then star and pound on the standard keypad. Like the digit 1 would be a 697 hertz low frequency and a 1209 hertz high frequency that are transmitted simultaneously.
E0 GM, thank you, back to net.
You're welcome, and thank you for the question. This is Kilo Alpha 6 Echo Tango Echo net control for this evening's NCARC Tech Net. If we have any other additional questions or comments for the net, please call now. I hear nothing. I would like to thank everyone for checking in this evening and contributing to the conversation and topics discussed. And the reminder, Wednesday evening is the NCARC Club Net at 6:30 p.m. with early check-in starting at 6. Also, second reminder for like Greg had mentioned earlier, the club meeting that was scheduled for this Saturday has been canceled due to the coronavirus going around and the restrictions being placed on everyone in every place. And look forward to hearing from everyone next week for the Tech Net. All the nets will still continue as scheduled and planned. It's a good thing about radio is viruses and illnesses cannot be transmitted over your microphone. So again, let's say 7-3. Hope everyone has a good evening, and the repeater is open for general use.